Do you have any plans for the summer?
I have plans to have plans this summer.
I'm looking for a job. I've applied to a little over 25 desk jobs. No production jobs. And the only thing I've heard back, if I've heard back anything at all, is no.
I have an internship. It's an academic one. Learning things. I have an internship at Women Film Pioneers Project.
I don't have any summer plans.
No internships, applications?
I applied for a bunch of internships. I got nothing, didn't hear from any of them. It was very frustrating. And this experience, not getting anything over the summer, I worked in radio last summer, but this summer I'm kind of freaking out because if it's this hard to get an internship, I feel like I'm never going to get a job.
I had always thought that I would graduate and go straight into auditioning and acting, and I definitely still think that's what I want to do, but it's such an unsure business. I felt like I needed to start looking at internships and jobs, but I already feel like behind, and it doesn't really help that I don't really know that I want to go into a specific field, so applying to a job or an internship already feels daunting, but it's also like I don't have the skills, and I also don't even really have the passion to be like, yeah, I really want to do this, because I don't.
I sort of have a couple of ideas for blogs that I want to start up and webcomic things, and if I can sort of make that my independent little project and get funding for it or expand it, get publicity out there, that's something that I'd really like to do, and maybe even work further on my memoirs, speculative scripts, all these things. It's not that I sort of don't know what I want to do, it's I don't know what I want to do first.
Have you thought about applying for things that are the blog versions of big companies, or Time Out New York or something like that?
Yeah, I worked for a freelance, I did freelance writing for a while. I worked as an intern for lifestylermag.com. I've done this stuff. It's just it's hard. I don't know. I think I don't know. I guess you bring up some sort of valid points in looking at creative aspects of these blogs. I'm going for it. I guess because I'm so sort of caught up on the idea of having something that's my own, I think it's hard for me to sort of think about going under someone else's wing for a while, which is sort of a necessary component of growing up, right? You need to be the apprentice before you can sort of master the art. But I guess I have a very sort of ingrained fear of losing self, and as sort of as that sounds, that kind of is navigating where I'm picking and choosing to apply for jobs.
Do you think this is just you being scared to try by not applying?
Is this therapy or an interview? Yeah, let's talk about this. Where's my tissue box?
So my name is Ariella Levy, and I am the postdoc fellow at the Barnard Counseling Center. So I'm just thinking about in terms of students coming in who are uncertain about their career and are feeling anxious. I think I would talk to them about this, first of all, how being uncertain can actually be a good thing, because it can open you up to other possibilities, whereas if you go right to grad school or right to a job, maybe you're not as anxious, but maybe it's also limiting your possibilities. So it takes courage to be uncertain, but it also, if you can tolerate that and stick in with it, you might be rewarded afterwards. So really helping students sit in that uncertainty and seeing what some of the positive effects of it could be. I think that's one of the things we talk about. Also, for students who are anxious, helping them kind of name where that anxiety is coming from. Is it because getting an internship or getting a job, they're equating that with their self-worth, which often happens, and is a rejection of a job offer, a rejection of your self-worth. So really trying to break apart those two, who you are as a person versus what's happening.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure whoever's gonna watch this, it's apparent by now. I think I've always had this awful, just reverberating fear that lives in my gut of just inadequacy that sort of like comes up to the top of my throat every time I think about doing something that I love. And as much as I want to do that thing, I'm always sort of like, damn it, but I'm probably not good enough to do it.